it's time for our first problem of the day for this week. Let's check it out. This one says to write 5/8 as a decimal and a percent. So we're going back to the basics today, it looks like. Write 5/8 as a decimal and a percent. So let's talk about this a little bit. Basically, first of all, it's about what does 5/8 mean to us? Basically, a fraction. I've said basically a lot today, haven't I? I got to get that out of my vocabulary. Here we go. 5 divided by 8. That's what a fraction does. So we're going to say, yes, we're going to put the 5 on the inside, and the 8, we're going to pop it up on the outside. Then we're going to run our division. We're going to long division this, all right? So those of you who are wanting to punch that calculator button, yes, you could do that, but let's do it longhand, because that's where most of you, when you're having to use this as a skill, you're there, okay? That's what you're going to do. Actually, a lot of you, once you do these equivalencies, as we call them, you can pretty much put that in your head and you say, I remember that. After you do it once, you don't really want to do it again, right? So let's put a decimal, speaking of which, because that's what we're trying to do. After the number we have here, for example, we have 5, we want to put the decimal to the right, because that's just basically simply another way to write 5 with the decimal. But what can we do from there? I can't divide 8 into 5. No, it doesn't go, does it? So let's bring a 0 over here. Let's play with this. And now we can talk. Now we can talk about, what about 8 goes into 50? That'll go in there, but not evenly. So let's not go too crazy about it, all right? So we're going to do, not 7 times, because 7 times 8 is 56. 4 times 8, way too low. How about 6? 6 times 8, 48. That's where we want to land. So here we start our little problem. We've got it ready to roll. And we're going to multiply. Remember, 6 times 8. That's why I asked, how many times does 8 go into 50? Well, it doesn't go exactly. It's right. So we're going to put 48 there, because we know that. You know your multiplication facts, I hope. Now, subtract. We get 2. We're back to the same kind of boat, right? We're trying to say 8 goes into 2. It won't fly. It will not fly. So let's put another 0 there. Bring it straight down. We're doing some transformations here. And bring it down, all the way down there. 20. 8 going into 20? I think so. Not evenly again. Wow. If you go too high, what's too high going to be? 3. 3 times 8 gives us 24. Way too high. So let's drop down 1. Let's try it. 8 times 2. Y'all got that going? Ooh, that's 16. I like that. It didn't go over 20. That's important. So 2 times 8 gives us 16. Now we're ready to subtract again. So you see, it's basically, all these operations in doing division that you have to worry about. My goodness, you got to subtract, you got to multiply. In order to divide, you got to be able to do all those things. So let's keep working it, because it's time to subtract again. Put a 4 right there. And 8 going into 4. I know, it doesn't go in there, does it? So let's put a 0. And let's bring straight down here. There you go. And you know what I see? You see what I see? I see 40. I like 40. Why do I like 40? Because 8 will divide into 40 evenly. On the nose, it goes in there 5 times, because as we know, 5 times 8 is 40. Those of you who don't believe me, count by 5s. 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30. We're up to 6, 35, and then 40. There's your 8th one. And we are going to put a 40 right down underneath there. We're going to subtract. We have nothing left over. So the question is it 625? Absolutely not. We need a decimal in here. Pop it right up there. It's 625 thousandths with a th on the end of that. Thousandths. And it's hard to say, and it just kind of sprays the whole room here. So we're going to keep it at 625 thousandths. That is our decimal form. That's one of the questions that was asked. Now, we've got a decimal. We need percent. How do we get there? Very easily. We're going to take that decimal, right there we go, 625 thousandths with a th, and we're going to shift that decimal 2 places, because percent basically is all about dividing a number by 100. And we're going to see what happens when we move that number over. That would give us 62 and a half 5/10, or 0.5 as we sometimes like to call it, percent. Right there you have it. Notice, if If you get to the decimal, it's easy to get to the percent. If you have the percent, it's easy to work backwards. It's easy to get back to 625 thousandths because you're always moving two places. Because remember what I said, it's all about dividing by 100, or in some cases you're shifting the other way. It's like you're multiplying by 100. So this one you're actually dividing by 100 to get back to that decimal. And here you were multiplying by 100 to get to the percent. So those are some little tidbits, techniques, but it's always two places. I'm going to hit one thing here real quick. If we were to have 4/10, you still got to move it two places. And that's going to give us, got to add a 0. That's going to give you 40%. I know it didn't ask for that, but I just want to give you a little bit of a heads up there. This one's kind of nice, and some people get nervous because we got a decimal in there. That's okay. Just means it's a half, all right, 62.5%. And that, folks, there's your problem of the day.